course. One of the great things about Quake, as we've touched on, is the community aspect, and Quake has deep history, and that's one of the things I love about the event, right? Saying hello to everybody and shaking hands with all the players that you talk trash to online all the time, and so it's always good fun.
Well, it's going to get a little bit more real as the money gets real here, as Effortless is going to be our first hero here as we get started. And a hero he is with a nail gun, just looking at everybody to hit, and not quite getting all the love out of it he wanted. But as we look for that soul here in mid-map, it's going to be, oh geez, that clutch into the dire ward every single time. It's become so rhythmic here, but it's going to be Death Row getting 3 frags on the LG, make that 4 frags on the LG, and that should allow him to get first pick on the Obelisk. It's going to be A for his team. Yeah,
what a heck of a clear out by Death Row, man. It's funny because, you know, we talk about how we've seen them in the duel competition, and are we surprised Death Row lines people up like that? Honestly, no. We've seen some great stuff from him coming up to this event.
That's going to be first points for Top Gun here as we're looking for Waz to make some of these clutch rails. And so far from what we've seen from these guys on OnTime, their strategy has been, hey, let's just all hit 70% rail. That seems like a good strategy. And so far we're going to see Waz trying to get out of here, but getting caught in this room does not allow you a lot of room for escape. It doesn't allow your teammates to come in and help you, however, as we just saw there. So Waz playing off a little bit of defense. Tons of LG against Pitt, who goes down. Only 29 health left alive for Waz, as he's coming back in for the play on the defense. Now that he's going to be able to defend this point and start getting some points for OnTime.
Yeah, big turnaround. As we've seen, you don't want to let a team get any momentum early on before that first power-up. You want to keep things in the balance, or preferably have it under your control the whole time. We're going to see what's going to happen in the next 30 seconds, given how close it is. Obviously, the power-up's going to be a huge factor.
Absolutely. As always, we're going to be looking for everybody to crowd onto that power-up. But also, before the power-up comes up, we're going to have to see who has weapons, who has any kind of stack, and who's actually going to be focused on it. It's going to be a fairly clean pass there, allowing Brick to come in and do a little bit of body blocking with his rocket launcher. Pitt getting 2 LG frags of his own, but it's going to be very quickly turned back around. We have the Soul currently in possession of OnTime. We'll be looking to get it back over to home.
Yeah, if they can get back to home, secure the power-up, would be a nice way to get a lead here.
Alright, but there's the power-up and taken, but it's going to be Waz that's trying to plus back a little bit. It's difficult when you see a player with a quad running directly at you. Very scary indeed, but he's keeping his cool. He survived a long time there. That's a lot of damage that Peppa took on the quad. And that might be enough damage to make it very difficult for him to do anything about the soul here. Indeed, he gets railed on down by Brick.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. That person did a great job of dodging. I mean, like you said, staying alive that long while you're fighting the quad. He was able to get that damage on the quad carrier, probably put that person into railable range, and yeah, got to kill him.
These quad frags coming out of Griffin, though, absolutely devastating, and that will help Griffin and his team get not only on the board, but start to surpass the score from OnTime. Top Gun is starting to come out on top here. We're going to have to see how long they can hold on to it. Fortunately, we can see all the players on the map here. We can see how they're positioning and looking forward to, you know, pushing forward through these choke points. And here they come. It's 2 from the top, 1 from the bottom, and we're going to have to see how the fight shakes down.
Yeah, looking like Top Gun settling into a good defensive formation here, covering a lot of different angles. That's going to be difficult for OnTime to push in here. They need to come in with a concerted effort. They can't just come in trailing, you know, 1, 2 players at a time. They're just going to get popped up.
Of course, both of these players being, or both of these teams being in the lower bracket, they've both had their little pieces of humble pie today. But if they can complete this match, one of these teams will be going into QuakeCon all the way. So we've got Griffin trying to go all the way, but you know, when you're moving through Acid, it doesn't really help out. So it's going to be a lot of action mid-map here. Brick is going to be going for a bit of the defense and coming back in. And just at the right or wrong moment, depending on how this rocket play goes, it's going to be a very difficult clutch to take down as he's able to take down Thuffa.
Yeah, OnTime got the steal, but they didn't get much out of it yet, and they really need to get it settled in, as we've seen with, you know, Sacrifice. One of the things where you can just get a little breathing room, right? Kind of win one of these team fights convincingly. It really helps out a great deal, but, you know, you got to give Top Gun a lot of credit. It's really messy right now.
It's really hard to get that breathing room here on Lockbox. I mean, Thuffa and crew want to make sure to take the breath away of everybody on the OnTime team, and it's going to be Effortless getting a little bit of room now with the protection, having to plus back while LGing everybody coming after him. But he's going to be able to look after the soul, make sure it's going to be grabbed and taken back over to point A. It's going to take a little bit of time, though, especially coming through this super dangerous room. As you can see, there's players all over the place there, but it's going to be Waz and Brick getting those frags. Effortless is just the vanguard at this point.
Yeah, just using the protection as a good body blocker, taking in that damage. Good pass there as he had low health. This is such a competitive match. It's really interesting right now because I really can't see which way it's going. Usually I'm really good at determining, like, you know, hey, I think this guy's, you know, or this team's pushing, and it's like right now it really is in the balance.
Well, just like we've seen in previous matchups here, once Top Gun is able to get the Soul in their obelisk, it's a little bit of time before there's any real response from OnTime, but at the same time, there's nobody in Top Gun actively defending it as Thumpa makes the return. So everybody's going to be collapsing pretty much onto the same choke points here. It's going to be a bit of a race to see who gets there first.
Yeah, we're going to obviously have the lead, and one of the things I've been noticing, it seems like Top Gun is doing a little better job on the defensive end. When they do get the cap, it seems like just getting a few more of those ticks than OnTime is able to.
The ticks are effective, but so are the frags from OnTime. I mean, you take a look at the frag counter here, and it is on time just about all the time. And of course, here in the power-up room, Saigon has got a lot of fighting to do, and his rockets are solid so far, just making that last dodge just at the final moment. Coming back in for an angle on Death Row's Sorlag, expecting him through the teleporter and catching him as well. Really good prediction, really great rockets, really good defensive damage, and so far, nobody's really solving the Saigon problem.
The Saigon problem, yeah, his I wreck you with my aim problem. Like, he's hitting some really good shots. All these guys, man, top talent.
Absolutely. So Griffin from Top Gun is going to be looking for a little bit of protection here. Death Row is playing the Vanguard role as well as they come back into mid. Now, getting up that jump pad is one of the things that really defines the difference between these two obelisk rooms. I mean, having to go up a jump pad at any point is dangerous. When you have that soul trail blazing behind you and literally everybody has a target painted on you, even more so.
Yeah, straight trajectories in the air in Quake have never been a positive thing. People just like to line you up.
All right, well, let's see if Waz can line him and play back over to the obelisk. He's got a quad that will certainly help him out as he pops through the teleporter. He's looking for a few targets, but again, he's big and glowing and purple, so it's going to be pretty easy for everybody to figure out where he's at. But up top with the rockets, he's able to rain him down. But that shield, he just cannot punch through it anymore, as Effortless is going to be trying to do a little bit of retaliatory damage himself.
This is a big steal for Top Gun. OnTime was really kind of to catch up here, and if they can get this back and get some more defense, probably need to push it up to 80, maybe even 90%. Based on the back and forth nature, I would expect OnTime going to make another challenge, maybe get another steal here.
Well, one thing is already untrue. OnTime wanted to make this a quick one, but this is actually lasting rather long for the first round, especially as the Soul is spending more time mid-map than actually home at the bases. But Waz right now looking to play a little bit more defensively with the nail gun, and my god, there's all four of them coming around the corner. He did not want to be the first one that they saw, taking him down very quickly, as Griffin's going to be looking for the steal here potentially.
Some nice rail work by Griffin, got a few kills there, and it's really cleared out the point for his teammates. This is a big steal. OnTime, you know, if they can complete it, because last time OnTime intercepted it on the way back.
And the pass to pit is solid, but there's that Sorlag taking him down as well. It's going to be Effortless making the damage, and there we go. It seems that sometimes we just see OnTime just frag everybody from Top Gun just about at the same moment.
Yeah, that was a huge turnaround again. It seems like Top Gun's lost their momentum here. Even when they do get the steal on the Soul, they can't complete the transition back to their obelisk. This next power-up, given the score, huge.
You've got two players looking for the power-up here. Griffin's going to be set up on it, and he's actually going to get the protection fairly cleanly. This could be a huge turnaround for them if they play their cards right. We've got Griffin dropping down, throwing out the LG, throwing out the rockets, and there's the Soul for him. He's got plenty of time left on that protection. Being the first one to get the grab on that, it means that you can actually take a full lap here and take it all the way back to base.
Yeah, and also the other thing, he was pretty stacked when he picked it up too. It's going to be really tough to bring him down with that protection.
All right, so Nix is running away here, and I cannot blame him at all. It's going to be a lot of damage coming out of Griffin, but Saigon will indeed be pulled on down. We've got 13 seconds before Mega comes up, and when it comes down to the mid control, both of these teams are fighting very furiously over it, but that might be a fight that needs to wait until we see Top Gun gets the Soul stolen away. But right now, they have caught this thing back up, and that loss of momentum you were talking about, it looks like they're starting to scramble it back together.
Yeah, it looks like they got their jet in order here. Looks like they're flying a little better now. Yeah, I know. We got all kinds of jokes for you people. But yeah, they're doing a good job here. They definitely lost the momentum, but it looks like they got a little bit of the groove back here. You can just see the defense. I like their defensive strategy. A lot of times you can see the angles they're taking, and you can tell they have a very strategic approach to that side.
It looks like Top Gun is certainly pulled up in this first round, but it's going to be stolen away at just the last moment. This is maybe the last hurrah from OnTime on this round. We're going to have to see if Top Gun can pull it back together. Thumpa is just pulling in the nails from behind. There's the grab, there's the security. It looks looks like nobody's really spawning close enough. Oh no, it's going to be a suicide there from Effortless, or the force from Effortless rather, to have that steal going down to OnTime's. I was going to say no time side, but really they have no time here to pull this back together.
Yeah, they really don't. And again, you hate to be in this position where your opponent has 99% and a power-up is coming, because again, you have to keep your eye on both now, and it really splits your attention.
It's just like in Duel when you are running out of time to make the frag, but items are being left up, and you need the stack. But there's the play. Oh my god, I love it when you see Nyx getting that telefrag, coming out of the Ghost realm, coming into the real realm, and finding herself covered in blood.
Huge pickup right now to get the soul back to the Obelisk and the protection. They may steal this round right now from top.
Especially with Psychic just doing amazing work with that protection there. Tons of damage. Actually finding Thumpa up top, not ignoring the guy up there, but instead just paying all attention to him, and that's going to turn it into 96, 97%. But here comes Top Gun. We're going to have to see if they can pull up one more time.
Yeah, in the balance. That last protection is so key.
There's the steal, there's the return, and it's going to be Griffin, maybe the last one coming in. I don't see anybody else. There's no more chances, and that is going to be OnTime making the first round.
Wow, a heck of a turnaround. You know, it started really well for Top Gun. They built a little bit of a lead. OnTime came back, and it just right. It seemed like Top Gun might, you know, pull it together and get it, you know, stopped at 99%. Lost the power up. Wow, you got to give credit to OnTime. They're coming through in the critical moments.
Absolutely, but as we go into the next round here, I mean, that was a really messy initial soul spawn in the first one here. We're gonna have to see if one or the other team can make this a little bit cleaner, make it a little bit more secure, and get back over to base a little bit quicker.
A lot of great stuff from all these players. You know, I like to touch on, you know, how messy it is. That's a result of everybody just being so talented. It's hard to get momentum when you got all these guys, not just shooting you in the front, but guys with great aim shooting you in the back. It becomes a problem.
Absolutely, and we have a lot of problems down here in mid-map. I mean, that's sort of like, she's not getting hurt by the acid, but that's about the only thing she's not getting hurt by right now. But we do have Obelisk B taken by OnTime as they start to get those first points in.
Yeah, I wonder if OnTime's confidence got to be feeling pretty good. You know, making that comeback in round one, it seemed like they started to put some things together. And, you know, Top Gun definitely needs to do a better job getting those power-ups, you know, especially at the end. They gave that one up. So.
Oh, nasty play. Griffin just taking Brick out. And it's going to be a grab of the soul, a toss, and another toss here. Back over to Clutch. Nice play there as you can move through your teammate and provide a little bit more of that meat shield. But as he comes through mid, it's going to be a really nasty play there from Death Row. And as we see the soul trade hands a few more times, it's going to be left up. And now, once again, taken by OnTime, looking for that return. But as you can see, it's not going to be an easy fight.
Yeah, and we got to power up 30 seconds again. Got to get that power up, got to be there together. If you're Top Gun, you definitely want to try to get a steal here in the next 10 seconds or so, just to get some percentages on your side. If you have to fight for quad the whole time while OnTime's getting, you know, the point pickup, it's benefiting OnTime.
Absolutely. So Effortless making his way back in here, and there's a brief respite as a lot of the attention is focused mid-map, of course, with the soul moving back through there. If they can actually collapse back on point B, and I like this from Effortless, going back up top map, not only getting ready for the power-up, but making sure he's got some height advantage to turn down. But he's the one who can just kind of walk in there, get the quad, but of course he will not be the last one to get the pick up there. Everybody's going to be flushing themselves down the toilet, but Saigib there is ready to do the damage.
Yeah, coming down the funnel there, right into some quad rockets.
That quad is going to be trading hands just a lot of times here. Not doing anybody any good, as just completely trappable down at the rocket launcher. And it's always tempting once you grab that quad, just look for somebody chasing you down the toilet bowl. But we're going to be seeing Pit here, making his way out of the pit into the base and looking for that pass. There it is.
Yeah, you got to give credit to OnTime here. 41% to 0. Really seems to put on the pressure right now. They're turning up the heat on Top Gun.
Absolutely, especially with that quad running out here. Saigib getting the return, and for all the effort that Top Gun has been putting into this map, we have not seen them get any points here just yet. I mean, we're up to halfway for OnTime, but as we've seen so far, the actual current score doesn't matter so much as the final result.
That's right. We've seen plenty of comebacks happen, so nothing's for sure yet, but Top Gun really needs to focus, get the secure soul right now, and they need to lock in on D, get the next power up. They need to get together right now because OnTime's on it.
Absolutely. So we see Pitt not even pausing to get health pickups there, as he's relatively weak as his clutch, but he wants the damage, he wants to find these fights, and he certainly doesn't want to get desynced from the rest of his team here. So as they come back in on the Obelisk A, here's the attack, here's the play to the other clutch, and there's the pickup as well. Nicely done, and Pitt just cannot find a way to defend against Brick.
Yeah, and again, good steal. OnTime really keeping the momentum. You know, we've seen momentum shift in plenty of these matches, so you don't want to let a team get something going, especially not a team as talented as Top Gun. So if they get this next power up, they're going to be in great shape.
Of course, Lockbox being a fairly new and, according to a lot of the teams, fairly divisive map in terms of preferences. So if OnTime made this pick, this was certainly working out well for them, especially since they can use a map that maybe a few other teams don't like so much.
Yeah, always good to have a little more familiarity in an off map, you know, maybe something other. I mean, yeah, I've seen there's so many tournaments you can point to where it's like X player just really grinded this, you know, this map that maybe other players didn't grind as much. Come tournament time, it'll pay off.
It is such a great strategy, but Pitt with protection and 10 HP remaining is looking to get the soul back in, but he might just be taking it right back into enemy territory, as we're going to be seeing OnTime get up to 70% here just about. But of course the soul is still contested, still moving, and Thumpet is going absolutely ballistic every time they think they can get that soul onto their obelisk. It just doesn't quite go their way.
Yeah, it's just, man, ever since the beginning around when, like, it was about like 66, 67% from Top Gun, it really has started to swing in OnTime's favor. So I don't know what kind of adjustments they can make here. If it's just OnTime, as you mentioned, you see the frag, you know, the frag list at the top left. You just see them just getting frag after frag after frag. So it makes you wonder if maybe Top Gun's having a little bit of a combat issue with them.
Yeah, the dangerous thing right now is there's not quite enough time to depend on that power-up to kind of turn the tide of the battle. They're going to need to turn it before the power-up comes up. But they're at least pushing it back into mid-map and making it contestable here. But look at Pitt, he just doesn't have much health here at all. So we're going to have that power-up coming up in just a few moments, as Brick is going to be looking for the toss-out, just making sure that Top Gun is not getting any points here as that power-up starts to come in.
Great pursuit by OnTime, even when Top Gun, you know, seems to get a steal. You know, he gets back to his obelisk. There's a clutch waiting for him with the shield. You know, you got a good job by OnTime, really, on their pursuit.
And of course, with the power-up room, I mean, one of the main ways to get in there is a teleporter, and you never know, unless you're getting team information, you never know what it's going to be like. And if you want to get up top, guess what? It's another teleporter. So double the risk, double the damage, maybe 4 times the damage if it's going to be a quad coming up. So 5 seconds to it. Death Row just waiting on the teleporter exit with the gauntlet out. Can't hit that at all. And he might actually get teleported here by Nyx, but no, he moved just enough to avoid it. Now he's got 5 health, and he's going, wait, did that just happen? Somebody else take this power from me, because I've done my job.
Yeah, that's a good play for those a little less familiar with Quake team play. If you're low with quad or anything like that, a good strategy is to blow yourself up with suicide so a more stacked teammate can take it and run with it.
Really good dire orb work out of Griffin as well, but again, the score is looking really dire for Top Gun. We're going to be seeing Griffin take a nice rocket jump back up here, look for a lot of damage over the top with that protection, but that's just going to be a slog through that choke point as we see rockets and nails just flooding the doorway.
Top Gun kind of inching their way maybe back into this. They need a really strong defensive effort here, though. I mean, 89% for OnTime. Top Gun can't afford any more miscues.
Not at all, but it's going to be Psychic just diving in, not caring if he lives or dies, just wants to do the damage, just wants to get the soul. And it's going to be Griffin looking to defend it on the LG. Coming back in mid-map, we have most of Top Gun down here, ready to close off most of these points. But if they get word that, nope, he went up top, we don't have the ability to stop him here, they're going to have to reposition. And look at this, it's a really good response. Unfortunately, Griffin is having to do all of this work with just the machine gun.
Well, at least he has great aim, because you can see like he was hitting every single one.
Might as well be an LG at that point. Yeah.
Again, OnTime, man.
Speaking of great aim, I mean, Death Row is doing a ton of damage here.
I really like the pursuit from OnTime. It seems like they really have a coordinated strategy how to handle it when somebody steals the soul from them, and it's really causing Top Gun a lot of problems getting the soul back to their side of the map.
4% left here. I'm sorry, make that 1% left here as we have that taken away. Make that the round, make that the map for OnTime.
Very impressive performance in round 2. Really took Top Gun out of their element. Didn't get a lot going there. I mean, man, OnTime, man. They looked really, really sharp on that map. And then the pursuit, it just seemed like Top Gun would get a steal. They could never quite get it back to their obelisk. Even when they got there, the clutch was waiting there. Somebody's just waiting there for them. And even when they got away, it's like they're low. Like you mentioned, Pitt, oh, he gets away with the soul, nobody is not like 15 health, and then there's a clutch with the shield. What are you gonna do? So
that's always rough. I mean, on time. I mean, look at this. They're having a small celebration point. They're gonna need to put a lid on here pretty soon as they go into the next map. Top Gun had a lot of really strong play throughout the course of the day, but of course, Sacrifice is it's very grueling. It takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of focus, but so far, On Time is on point.
Yeah, they are, and that was their map pick. So obviously, you want to win your map pick. So they're probably feeling really confident now. They just think, hey, we go in, we steal their map, and we're going to QuakeCon, baby. I mean, that's it. They gotta be pumped, but like you said, you gotta take a breath.
Yep.
Don't get too hyped up yet. You haven't made it yet. You still got a game to play.
You get reset and you get right back into it, and we will indeed be going into Ruins of Sarnath for map 2. I believe it was Burial Chamber for a potential tiebreaker, was it?
Correct. This is actually, I think this is one of the few times, I don't know if we've ever seen Blood Covenant out of the rotation. Very
yeah, I was a little surprised myself. And Ruins of Sarnath, just like the matchup between Johnson and Liquid, it's a toss-up. I mean, this is a map that is incredibly well practiced by every team in Quake Champion Sacrifice, so we're just going to have to see who's ready for it. Yeah, this map's been out a while, a lot of work, a lot of time on this. People very familiar with it, obviously, because it's been dueled, FFA. I mean, it's played in every single game mode in Quake, so if you're playing Quake Champions, you're very familiar with Ruins of Sarnath. Especially that eyeball.
Yeah, everybody's familiar. Darn eyeball, man. The eyeball spawn is also very popular right here.
Oh yeah. Jeez. I mean, in duel, I just hate spawning down there. I mean, it's what I like in spawns is like, okay, I've got 2 or 3 good choices. In the eyeball room, you've got 5 or 6 okay, maybe choices.
It reminds me of thinking of a spawn back in the Quake 2 days, spawning in the machine gun room down in the bottom of the edge. And,
yeah.
You know, your opponent gets the mega health, the chain gun, and some armor, and you get a little machine gun.
Traumatic times indeed. So this is at least better than that, by a long shot, I would say. It's not that bad. That machine gun spawn was the worst. But we have about 20 seconds of warm-up left here, and as you can see, everybody is getting their focus lasered on in from both On Time and Top Gun as we go into Ruins of Sarnath.
Yeah, I'm curious if anybody takes the page, has been watching Liquid, the way they handle that soul ambush at the start. I think that's really slick from Team Liquid, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some other teams maybe steal some strategy from them.
A lot of that came down to their composition as well. I mean, we saw that Slash, we saw Anarchy as well with the Scale Bear, and we saw multiple teammates who could just pump up their speed very, very quickly. So I'm sure they've got the need for speed here, as well as Effortless is looking for a bit of rocket damage out of the teleporter. It's going to be the Soul coming up here in just a moment. He doesn't really have the health to justify diving in for it. And I'm not sure if he got any hits on the spit either. He's going to go, all right, fine, as long as I'm here, I'm going to get armor. But that, oh, what a turnaround. You wanted that obelisk? No, we are getting that obelisk.
That is, man, that's heartbreaking if you're the top gun. You're thinking, oh, we got B. You know, that's the one they want. We've seen it several times how B seems to be a little easier to defend because A is so wide open. And that's just a, wow, clutch play by On Time to get a steal right before they were going to cap it in that obelisk.
So that is indeed going to give On Time obelisk B, which, as we've seen, allows you to set up for a lot of rail and rocket angles. We're going to have to see how they can play out with it, however. We're going to have Thumpa down here just going on the chase with the nail gun, not really getting any love out of those hits just yet. In fact, he's getting a little bit of love from behind. He's down to 8 health here, and he doesn't have any drugs available. He's going to have to just do some raw damage with the rocket launcher, and he's just not getting those hits just yet.
Yeah, and we've seen how difficult it is taking the soul from B. You really, I mean, running out of there is pretty much a non-option because there's so many angles you can shot from. So your really only option is throwing the soul over the balcony or into the pit there by railgun just to get it out of the base.
But these really close range rails out of Saigon are certainly making a difference here as On Time are starting to put their points together. I'm starting to get a little bit worried about Top Gun. They really haven't had a good start to any of these maps, to any of these rounds.
Yeah, they're really lost their momentum, losing a little bit of swagger here. Like since round 1 in the first map, I mean, it's been all On Time pretty much.
Absolutely, but Thumpa not exactly on time for this power-up. In fact, he seems like he's a little bit early to the party here, and he might end up paying for it. This is not some place he wants to die 3 seconds away. If he dies now, he won't be able to even see the item. Well, he gets in and dives on it. That's cool, but he's not going to be the one to enjoy the benefit of it. Fortunately for him, it's going to be a teammate death row getting through the teleporter. 51 health left over, but he's going to be immediately targeted and taken down.
Yeah, he didn't have a whole huge stack to work with on that quad. And as we all know, when you have quad, you just target everybody shooting at you.
Nice. So it's going to be Waz, maybe the last one to pick that up. And my God, he comes out of here with Blaze and with the LG, doing a ton of damage. 1, 2, 3 frags out of the gate, taking away a Mega as well, as they are now nearing the 50% mark on Obelisk B.
Heck of a job by OnTime. I mean, now this is Top Gun's map, right? This is the one they pick. They feel like this is their strong suit, and OnTime's really just taking them out of their element right now. 50% Rising, 53, 0% for Top Gun. They need to do something. They might have, I mean, if they don't get a steal, they're in trouble.
How often do you see that play where everybody comes up the heavy army jump pad? It seems like it would be a death trap if they know you're doing it, but it looked like it took OnTime by surprise just a little bit here. And Thumpa, being the one guy out of that position, is able to respond to everybody moving through the map and look for some free damage.
I can imagine that could cause you some problems, some tracking issues. You know, usually people try to line up some lightning gun or something when you come up the jump pad, but when you have 4 targets coming up the jump pad, and all of a sudden it's like, which one do I shoot here? Because I got an issue.
All of them, if you can.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Death Row getting a nice frag, not only with the LG, but with the Sword-like spit as well. Currently watching Thumpa get a little bit healed up here and try to get some recon on the map, but it looks like he's going to get targeted and pulled down potentially. He's going to have to adrenaline up and get some health, can finally take down Effortless, but look how much work that took. Now with only 2 HP, well, Brick actually should have seen that one coming.
This is good for Top Gun, though. They finally got a little momentum going in their favor. If they can just keep some defense here, get the next power-up, you know, get a good power-up run, they'll probably take the lead.
Yeah, so seeing how long players like Thumpa can keep their frag run going will really make the difference. I mean, Thumpa being an Anarchy is going to be the one not exactly on the Obelisk itself, just making sure that he's everywhere on the map, just cutting off fights, turning these fights into potential team fights to 1v1s, or just diving onto the quad like that. That was cute.
Yeah, dove out of the quad gauntleted.
Yeah. Alright, but here's Effortless making a solid rail as Zorlag and also getting a little bit of love out of the spit as well. We've got that soul right back over to Obelisk B for the moment, but it's going to be contested as the quad is still going to be out on the field, currently possessed by Thumpa and crew, but as they try to make it through that choke point, well, they're going to be the ones choking on it.
Well, a little bit of sloppy pass work, I think, from Top Gun, right? Yeah, it kind of looks like they had some missed throws there, and it cost them some time, a little more damage on the quad carrier, and, you know, next thing you know, OnTime got the steal and put it right back in their Obelisk.
Right, but we're going to be having that scale bearer from OnTime coming from the rocket launcher area here, but we're going to have to see where that soul lands. It's going to be picked back up and taken by Top Gun. We're going to have to see if they can get it back onto their Obelisk. Indeed they do, but here comes Brick to do a ton of damage from the flank. You have to cover that position, but their defender has been taken out, and nobody really gave the rest of Top Gun the memo from the look of it, so he was able to get the steal and get the pass with no harm done. But as enemies spawn back up on the other side of the map, they're going to have to be able to push through them.
Yeah, very much in the balance. You got to give Top Gun credit for fighting their way back into this match. At first, it looked like maybe OnTime might run away with it on their map pick. You don't want that to happen, that's for sure. It'll ruin their confidence going into round 2. So this is big. I mean, Top Gun needs to come back. They need to complete this comeback. They really need this win here.
Well, again, at the very least, Top Gun is keeping this from being a quick one, and Death Row just rocking out with his gauntlet out. I mean, he's been able to make so much damage happen here, allowing the rest of his team to maybe move in into position. But that also leaves that cross up there at the T wide open for Effortless to move through and get the pass. But unfortunately, he passes it back over to a Top Gun player, and we are seeing this thing move through the T corridor time after time.
We're going to see who gets this power up next in about 8 seconds. The game is in the balance. We've seen so many times how influential a quad or a protection run is in these sacrifice games. And it's a protection. It's highly effective. He's got a decent stack. See what Psychic does with it.
Really interesting play out of Top Gun there. I mean, nobody was really on the power up, and immediately after the power up was taken, they all went to the top corridor. I'm not sure if that was tactical or if it was just a tactical error.
Yeah, maybe they lost track of time a little bit on that one, and weren't on time like Team OnTime was. And yeah, there you go. But you got to give the credit where credit's due. OnTime was there. They were prepared. They got the protection, and now they got the lead.
Making good use of the protection for sure, but things have at least tied up here a little bit as once again we keep seeing OnTime be able to get the soul and hold on to it, but Thumpa and crew just come out of nowhere to steal it away, and before they know it, it's already halfway across the map. So Saigon trying to actually defend his rear a little bit, trying to defend his own base with the railgun, but he's just going to be so weak down here. Nobody really wants to go hunting him. There's too much effort and too much focus on the soul itself to make that worthwhile. But Waz right now trying to make his way back over to Obelisk B.
We're essentially tied right now. Whoever can get the solid, some solid percentage picks right now. The last, great, really, Waz, holy cow. But if they can get some good defense right now, this next power up is going to be huge. But they may get the win right here if they can get some good defense.
Really good little microdynamics there out of Waz, and the fact that he was able to survive that. I mean, he put himself in a corner, making himself a target, but in order to turn towards that corner, you have to expose your backside to literally everybody else on the enemy team. So it worked out well for him, and he's finally pulled on down, but the damage is done and the score is made. 89, now 90% here, as this is getting very close for the first round for OnTime here on Ruins Sarnath.
Yeah, if you're on time right now, you're looking at your percentages, you're feeling pretty good. I'd be thinking, I mean, there's no power-up, so Top Gun has to, this is a darn if you do, darn if you don't situation. If OnTime wants, they can just sit a guy on the power-up right now.
Yep.
Top Gun has to rush the obelisk. They have no choice.
And it looks like that choice is going to be made for them as the first round is indeed taken by OnTime. This is dangerous for Top Gun. They are now 1 round away from not going to QuakeCon.
It looks like OnTime, looks like Effortless and his crew might be making good on their promise. They sounded really confident. Anytime, you know, going back to Mike, anytime somebody can say, no, we haven't lost a game yet in the practice area,
yeah,
you got to be feeling really good, man.
I mean, I know Effortless. I know that he had to put on his intimidating britches in order to make that statement because he is just the nicest guy, really.
He really is. I think Thumpa.
I was surprised.
Yeah, you know, I was good. I think Thumpa brought the best trash talk out of him.
Yeah, he has a way with that for sure. But as we go into this third, or rather second, but still potentially final round here, we're going to be seeing Thumpa with Top Gun actually getting priority on Obelisk A, just like they had before. I guess they want this Obelisk for sure. We're going to have to see if they can defend it. But of course, a lot of the defense of this Obelisk means getting that railgun, getting those angles, and making sure that you're covering not only the staircase, but the tribal teleporter.
Yeah, good. At least Top Gun getting off to a better start, as you mentioned in the previous round. It seems like they just kept getting off to poor starts. You never like digging a hole right early on in a match. Just like in duels, you don't like starting down a frag, down 2 frags. It's really tough to come against talented players like this and to come back. You know, it's hard enough to win as is. It's coming back is a whole other thing.
Well, Brick is putting the damage together here. Thumpa's trying desperately to throw down a little bit of defensive frags, but it's not going to happen as Psychic is going to be able to take away that Mega with the power-up coming up in 40 seconds, but the power-up was actually kind of stuck at the top of the heavy armor stairs. It doesn't actually go through there very often, so this is going to slow down how quickly the soul gets back over to either one obelisk or the other. But it looks like Effortless is making great strides towards it, getting it back over to B-side, and he's going to start getting those points back for his team. Yeah,
big steal by OnTime. As we mentioned before, you know, before the quad, great time to get the steal. So now in about 20 seconds, they got the power up. So with good defense and a good power up run, they're going to take the lead here.
But with the clutch, shielded clutch especially, it's very difficult to do anything about that. But Pit was taken down by Effortless either way here, as we still have points accruing from OnTime's side. Effortless moving back into the quad slide protection area as Death Rose is making frag after frag. And look at this, they're all in position here. And there's the dive down onto it. Death Row with a beautiful little bit of spin to make sure that Waz is able to, or rather Griffin is able to get away with this protection.
Yeah, nice little dire pickup by Griffin, taking no chances. This is huge for Top Gun. If OnTime secured that, they were going to be in a world of hurt.
Flying through the map, and yeah, you could try to LG the dude with protection, but you're just going to be helping him across.
Yeah, it really just gives them a boost.
And so Griffin's still doing a bit of damage here, but that soul just was not staying on the Top Gun side for very long. Finally, they're able to get it and hopefully push this defensive line out a little bit.
Yeah, good run there by Top Gun. They really needed something here, because OnTime's putting a lot of pressure on them, so any momentum they can get is a positive. They need to get some confidence building momentum here and feel like they can put the hurt on OnTime, because it's so much in the balance, and anytime one team seems to get an advantage on the other, it seems like it's OnTime.
All right, but here come the gauntlets once again as 42% for Top Gun. They've finally moved into the lead here, just barely. But of course, it's going to be all about this mid-play. As we have Thumpa getting a little bit more damage with the nail gun. We've got him actually crossing to the top of the map, trying to take out all of these really defensive positions that OnTime will be holding. But as you can see, OnTime is already on the obelisk and making it very difficult for Thumpa to get anything for free here. He has a railgun, isn't switching just yet, just wants to make sure that the rest of his team can come in for the assist. It's not going to happen, though, as we have the soul in contest. It's going to be Waz with it at the moment. Only 21 health for him here, and especially as an Anarchy, that makes him incredibly fragile. But there's the grab, there's the slam down onto OnTime, and they're going to start to tie this thing back up.
Yeah, big steal by OnTime. Power up coming up in 20 seconds. Last time Top Gun was able to secure it. OnTime's got to be thinking, get this power up. We can get ourselves a nice lead, close the show. I mean, they're so close to QuakeCon right now. They just got to keep their nerves and wits about them and get the finish.
I'm sure they can smell it. Well, we're assuming that's QuakeCon anyway, but there's Thumpa with the gauntlet once again as Top Gun is moving out of there with the soul. Moving through rocket launcher is never going to be an easy thing, especially as the power-up is coming up. It's a bit of a blitzkrieg play, but it's one that results in 1, 2, 3 frags from the no time side, or on OnTime side rather, but my god, this quad is just doing so much damage just indiscriminately.
Yeah, nice suicide. We remember we pointed out earlier about suicide to give your teammate the quad. Nice pass, nice teamwork there. Good communication.
Really good LG, even tracking Griffin through the dire orb, just snapping directly to him as he appears once again. But with that quad being now used defensively by OnTime, we're gonna have a little bit of time here to even up and surpass the score of Top Gun. We're gonna be watching Saigib try to push back out here a little bit, push the defensive line forward, and still find his time to grab a little bit of damage with the nail gun.
Yeah, big turnaround. Great stuff from Saigib right now with that super nail gun, really lighting people up.
Oh, I like this. He was actually waiting for the pickup, waiting for the pass, but can he actually catch up to a clutch? Well, Effortless can actually get the last little bit of nail damage in and make that happen. Effortless is tossing it out, making sure that they won't have an easy way back up to that platform, only by either tossing it or taking it up yourself with a jump pad.
Man, this is getting intense right now. You know, one of these guys is going down to the lower bracket. Top Gun's kind of on the verge. They're on the ropes right now, but they're fighting hard. They got it in their obelisk. They really need this next power up in about 45 seconds to really, you know, keep the momentum on their side. If OnTime somehow to get another steal and the next power up, I don't know if Top Gun can recover from that. It's gonna be tough.
And this means everything for Top Gun as they have to make this round to stay in the series. Of course, if they're able to take this one, they can push it into a tiebreaker if they can take one more after this. But if we have OnTime completing this final 40%, that will be it.
Man, some great super nail gun work. We've seen it from several guys. That you can see that LAN effect, right? Just from the projectiles. It's just so much more effective.
And you can see things really intensifying here as we're seeing less time taken on you know, stack items and weapons, and everybody's just wanting to dive in, but they're going to need to dive onto the power up here really soon. You can see that most of OnTime is actually still back over on the obelisk itself to staying defensive. It's actually going to be a quad taken by Saigib and crew, but it's going to be Waz actually with the quad itself, and I love this. You know that he can do the damage. He gets 2 rockets out of the gate, and he's looking for more. We have the soul back over to Top Gun, but with this quad on the board and him being in the position that he is, it's going to be like duck hunt.
Yeah, just lining people up. When you have quad rail, it's insta-give time.
All right, so as that quad runs out, it's going to be Waz coming back in. Quad or no, he is incredibly dangerous. Everybody's going to know it. Griffin getting 2 frags with his rocket launcher. We're going to have to see if that can turn into a grab of the soul, moving back over towards Top Gun's side.
Yeah, big quad steal by Griffin, shooting Waz in the back and getting the soul back to their side. It's in the balance, though. OnTime still has that lead, so Top Gun has to be very, very careful.
Absolutely. So Effortless is going to have to do something about the Top Gun obelisk here pretty soon. I mean, being a relatively fresh spawn, he has rocket launcher. He can come back on top map, but he's going to know that there's another Swarlock up there. Death Row doesn't know he's there. He's able to take the frag, take the soul away. What a freebie for him. Also turning back around. There's that clutch. Can he do anything about it? No. It's going to be Pit and Thumpa making a pair of frags.
And a little bit hectic here in the mid area of the map. Good recovery by Top Gun to get the pursuit there. Wow, this is really, really close. We're probably going to get another power up, it looks like. And it looks like the 8-minute mark might decide, you know, the round and possibly the entire match.
If Top Gun can hold on to it here for a little bit longer, they can actually nullify the need for that power up. They're down to the last 15% here as we have everybody coming in for that defense. Well, trying to anyway. They're going to be spawning back over at the obelisk B side, and of course, Waz and crew know that. They're going to need to find a clever way to get back over to the obelisk without getting taken out, and the guy to give that to is definitely an Anarchy. However, he's been stuck down here by the stairs a little bit. He's going to need to go quiet, going to need to duck under all these rockets, but doesn't quite make it there. Yeah,
but even just that little bit of delay, that now the power up is for sure going to show up. 84 to 88 right now, very close. Whoever gets this power up, I really feel like he's going to pull ahead in this round.
I love this. Brick is actually not really moving with the soul too much just yet. He's wanting to make sure that the power play goes his way before committing to it. That actually was a really good way to make sure that all the focus was on whoever was getting the power up, and this is going to mean a free few points on the obelisk here.
Yeah, very, very nice play by Brick. If they get some defense here, some kills, it's a wrap.
Final 10%, and once again, here we are. Everybody from Top Gun is just going to have to go completely +4 to have any chance here. But I got to say the same thing for OnTime. This is still incredibly close. Top Gun looking for the last little bit of damage with the quad as Thumpa is just rocking out with his LG out. And it's going to be Obelisk contended and taken by Top Gun once again, and this final percent could do it. Oh, they've managed to take the round, but all that really gives them is one more lifeline here on Rosasar now.
Very big by Top Gun coming through there. Obviously, you know, they don't want to be locked down in the lower bracket. Looks like that last quad by Thumpa last quad run. I mean, it was 84 to 88. It was in the balance. You know, looked like OnTime took a little bit of a calculated risk, right, to get the soul back and maybe get some ticks, but they just gave up a quad, and Thumpa went on a run and made it pay.
Those scores were at the verge for such a long time. I'm sure Top Gun just wants to take a very, very quick breath here. I'm sure OnTime's thinking the same thing as we go into the tie-breaking round of what still could be a winning game for OnTime.
Yeah, Top Gun can't breathe easy right now. Not at all.
Oh no, but Thumpa is actually kind of hyperventilating with his LG here. I mean, he's just taking a ton of damage from what, 2, maybe 3 LGs? Yeah, everybody wanted Thumpa dead.
Now it looks like OnTime going with Obelisk A. I'm wondering if that's deliberate. Maybe they said, you know what, it seems like Top Gun wants Obelisk A. Why don't we take it from him and see how they react?
Absolutely. So we're gonna have to see if that turns into a better approach for them, or if it just plays directly into Top Gun's plans. We're gonna have to see. But Brick is seeing a lot of damage out of this rail right now, as he's looking for anybody else who wants a rail to get punished for it. But still, he can kind of chill up here. It's a dangerous position to have, especially when you have 2 players out there. Yeah, just clear out the balcony with a pair of gauntlets. He didn't get that last frag, but it's a great idea.
Still a great start for OnTime, already up 22 to 0. About to return to Soul 23 to 0. If they get strong defense and the next power up, they're probably going to be 50-60% by the time Top Gun really has a chance to collect themselves. So.
Absolutely, and if any of them can get their hands on a rail, I mean, this is the Obelisk to defend it with the rail gun for sure. I mean, anybody else who wants a rail can be easily punished, but here comes a play from Griffin, just to be able to do the damage and possibly get the steal for the soul. But as you can see, it doesn't get very far from the Obelisk before OnTime sends it right back home.
Yeah, getting a little hectic around the Obelisk, but you know, OnTime, at least it's fighting around their Obelisk is what they got to be thinking.
Yeah.
You know, they're up 37 to 0.
Definitely not the worst, but that is going to be Top Gun escaping through with the teleporter with the soul at the very least. And it's going to be everybody down here. Yeah, pull out your gauntlets when in doubt for sure. But now we have points accruing for Top Gun.
Yeah, and the power up though, I don't know if that run back, a clean pickup for OnTime there, and the power up delay from Top Gun, you know, capturing the soul, they weren't able to get in position to really attack that power up.
And there was so much action happening on those obelisks that the power up, the protection here is actually taken away pretty handily by OnTime. That's really bad news for Top Gun. If they can't manage to get that dire orb, and no dire orb against Saigib, he's still gonna be able to stay alive here for quite a long time, and being a huge problem with that protection. And my god, the frags coming out of OnTime are just ballistic right now.
Yeah, that might have been a slight tactical error by Top Gun. I mean, we mentioned getting the soul before, but they had to have some kind of presence at the power up there, and giving it for free, and then the person was still stacked, really came back to haunt him there.
I mean, I would make fun of the fact that Thumpus is running around with the Scarlet, but look at the frags he's making. It, you know, whatever works, but we're gonna have to see if indeed it works out for them at all. We've already got Zorlike waiting for him on it. He was still trying to make it happen with the Gauntlet, but it didn't quite work out for him here. As crossing the map, the soul's gonna be headed right back over towards the, well, actually it looks like it might be headed towards the Top Gun obelisk. It's gonna be up the jump pad from the heavy armor, but as you can see, that soul is gonna be removed of its carrier very quickly.
Yeah, OnTime putting some defense at Top Gun's obelisk, waiting for the return. It's not going to be easy for Top Gun right now. They are, man, OnTime's really sharp right now. They're on it. They're probably, you know, good defense and a 4-minute power up away from a win here. And
they're definitely still reacting, I believe, like you mentioned, to that last play on the protection. I mean, they're going to need to wait quite a long time before they get another chance to kind of get back into the zone on this map. But right now, Effortless is spamming off everything he can to make sure they do damage and prevent, well, exactly that. Griffin is still sneaking behind the obelisk and is getting away with the soul. But where's the rest of his team? Where's anybody to pass it to? He was passing it thinking that somebody would pop through the corridor. Didn't quite go that way. And it's going to be going back the way of OnTime's obelisk.
Again, Top Gun's thinking about stealing the soul right here, spending a lot of time, but we got the power-up spawning in 2 seconds, so I hope they're there with the presence. And
like I was mentioning before, sometimes the only strategy you need is, hey, let's just hit every single rocket, every single rail we dish out, and that is working out well for OnTime. I'm thinking something like 65 frags on Effortless's end. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. As we start to run out of time and run out of soul for Top Gun, they're going to need to start pulling this thing back up very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do here. They're really far behind. It's just one of those situations where your margin of error becomes so slim.
Zero.
Yeah, I mean, you put yourself in such a huge hole. So, you know, OnTime, putting the pressure on Top Gun, you know, wow.
Yeah, Thumpa was trying to dive in there and get a steal himself, but Maverick that he is, just doing it solo was not going to be enough. 82, 83% for OnTime now. This is real life alert for Top Gun.
Yeah, they're in a world of hurt right now, even if they get the steal. I mean, they're just so far behind. OnTime just needs to think a little more defense. I mean, they might not even see the 6-minute power-up. I mean, Top Gun needs the delay. They need that 6-minute power-up to try to turn the tide here.
Yeah, and you can see that something, even after getting the soul back in, they need a stack of some kind here. This is not worth, running around as an Anarchy with only 4 HP. Indeed, they're going to be pulled on down. We have the soul trading hands incredibly quickly down here at the nail gun. It's going to be a huge skirmish. It might even be ducking out towards the LG room, but it's going to be coming right back up the jump pad, opening himself up to a lot of extra damage. One nail in midair is all it took to put Thumpa down, and that's going to be Brick running halfway across the map with that bull rush, bringing it back to point A, and they're only 15% away from a victory here. Yeah,
Brick was very stacked when he grabbed that soul. Good luck taking down the scale bearer. He charged out.
And it's taken a long time for anybody from Top Gun to show up, but there's the gauntlet from Thumpa once again. This guy is just incorrigible as he's able to take it away, but hey, gauntlet be gauntlet is all you need sometimes.
I guess he won the boxing match there.
Oh man, but 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, it's going to be very, very quick here unless Thumpa and crew can show up. There's bodies on the obelisk, but it's not going to be lasting very long. Actually, we have Pit, the one guy on the clutch, able to have a little bit more health, a little bit more armor than the rest of his team, able to get it back onto the Top Gun side. Could this be a slim moment for them to come back into this?
Yeah, but they lost the protection.
Again?
Yeah, nobody, actually the protection was sitting there for 10 seconds. Both teams really kind of ignored it.
That's focus for sure.
Yeah. So now they're in a world of hurt. Saigib with the protection. We've seen him do some nasty nail gun work. So.
He has a bit of it left over, but if his movement isn't clean, he won't really have the ability to get back over to the obelisk in time. He's going to be able to pass it back up, doing a ton of nail gun damage there. And there it is. That is going to be OnTime going to QuakeCon.
Great win by OnTime. Looked very solid, honestly. What can you say? I mean, overall, Top Gun, they put up a great effort, but man, OnTime looked really sharp. They're on it. Good effort by Top Gun. I enjoyed, some competitive matches.
Oh, absolutely.
But wow, Waz and Saigib, some of the effortless Brick. These guys, man,